Now, when it comes to business content, because a lot of that is consumer sort of stuff, and I want to guess that like most small businesses, we're all mostly in business to business in here. Is that true, or am I wrong?
No, it's not true.
Okay, it's not true. Okay, well,
Not to me, but.
I don't know. How about to you guys? B2B or B2C?
I'm a health club, so I'm marketing to.
B2C, business to consumer. Okay. Well, this might be from a business perspective what's sort of very successful and popular. Okay. How-to videos, like we mentioned, and I've got a client called Eureka Pizza Company, and I do videos for him once a month. So I'll give you an example of what a how-to video looks like. And for this guy's name is Steve Bangos. Steve has a place in Yorba Linda called Eureka Pizza Company. So once a month, I'll go in there using my iPhone. It doesn't have to be expensive equipment either, because the stuff is so good these days, right? I stick that on that tripod, and then I take home what I've captured in 5, 6, or 7 takes, different cuts, and I put it in editing software. And I'll show you what we get from that, just so you guys can see that it's not hard to do, and it can be really, and it can be pretty effective.
Hey, this is Steve over at Eureka Pizza Company in Yorba Linda. Thank you so much for joining again. Don't go away. You're not going to want to miss this one, because this is a great exhibition of a pizza that I love. It's one of my favorite. The reason is that it's the most repeatedly ordered pizza, gourmet pizza in my lineup. Here at Eureka Pizza Company, we have 12 gourmet pizzas that we love to do, and they're all delicious. But the one that's the most repeatedly ordered is my Italiano Blanco. So what's unique about it? It's just a pizza. Oh, not just any pizza. It's an Alfredo-based pizza. Alfredo sauce with sauteed spinach, artichoke hearts, marinated artichoke hearts, broiled chicken, and we're going to garnish it with a little Parmesan, and wait till you see when it comes out of the oven, along with fresh tomatoes, so don't go away. Now this is an easy start. I'm going to start with a large size dough, medium or large, whatever you like. I just happen to have a large dough. And I have some Alfredo sauce that I prepared here in house, and I'm just going to get that reduced a little bit so it's easy to spread. And I'm going to put it all over my dough. Most people think of a pizza with red sauce, but not very many times you'll come across a pizza with a white sauce of Alfredo. People think, oh, it just belongs on a noodle dish or a pasta. No, 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 no. We have it here on a pizza, and it is amazing. So now that I have an easy spread, an even spread over my dough, I'm going to go ahead and start layering my first layer of cheese, my provolone mozzarella cheese. I want to put that over the Alfredo sauce. Once again, I use provolone and mozzarella blend cheese on all of my pizzas. It's a premium cheese. It's a 50-50 split of provolone and mozzarella cheese. I use grande 50-50. It's amazing. It's wonderful cheese. I think it's one of the best out there in the market. So now I have my base layer of provolone and mozzarella cheese. Now I'm ready for the sauteed spinach, which I've already previously prepared, to put over the pizza. At this point, now I'm going to put the spinach that I've sauteed on top of the cheese. The thing about spinach, as I've said before in a previous video, is that you don't want to reduce it too much. It can get very loose on you. And you want to maintain the leafiness, because it's going to settle down once it gets cooked in the oven. So now that I've laid out all of my spinach, nicely laid out, I'm ready now to put my marinated artichoke hearts. Now, you can get artichoke hearts already marinated. I like to do them here, because we have a really nice marinade that we have that works well for most of our vegetables, and it just happens to work out really well, especially with the artichoke hearts. So now that I have all my artichoke hearts nicely laid out, I'm ready to put my broiled chicken, which I've cut up, to place over the pizza. This is the only meat that's on this pizza. I think this is the only thing you really want on this pizza. So you have the combination of the Alfredo sauce sauteed spinach, marinated artichoke hearts, our flame broiled chicken breast that I've cut up, and we're gonna put a little bit more cheese on the top, just as a light topping. You never want to overdo it with cheese. You want to have cheese with your pizza, not pizza with your cheese. Now the last thing I want to do, what I love to do with a lot of my crust, before I put it in the oven, I'm going to garnish the crust with a little bit of shredded parm. It tastes great and has a beautiful craft artisan look when it comes out of the oven. So let's put this in the oven and see what we have 8 minutes later. Okay, so let's put it in the oven, as I said earlier, about 7 minutes, and we'll look at the work of art later. So the average cook time for this particular pizza is about 8 to 9 minutes. Again, there's no easy button for this, and you don't want to rush this pizza. You want that crust to be cooked just right. So now after about 8 minutes, 9 at the most for this particular pizza, it's ready to come out. You don't want to rush this. There is no easy button when it comes to this pizza. Can you blame me? No. Now before I put this on your plate, I'm going to garnish it with some tomato, fresh slices of tomato, and I'm going to garnish it with a little bit more shredded parm. Now we're ready to serve. So here we have it, the Italiano Blanco, one of 12 delicious craft gourmet pizzas that we offer here at Eureka Pizza Company. And when you order one of these, I would definitely pair this up with some of our fine wines that we have here. We have red, we have white. We have also got a great selection of taps, ales on tap from the Alaska Brewing Company. You can't go wrong. It's delicious. Trust me on this. Italiano Blanco. Galeorixi.
So it's a pretty effective thing to do, and it tells the story. And we did that. We posted it 2 weeks ago. Within 5 days, we had over 1,000 watches, and it went. And yeah, 1,000 people, and and so there was a lot of sharing going on too.
Were these people that already knew about the place, or did they find it in some search?
There were some people who knew about it, and others who found it in a search. Kind of a mix of both. But it's a pretty cool thing, it's so easy to do, right? So that's one example. Screen capture is another thing, and you guys have probably seen this, where somebody's sitting at a desk and he's explaining maybe how do you save a file on your hard drive, or how do you, how do you do something on the internet, whatever, and they just kind of capture, and there's a microphone so you can hear the guy talking. Have you guys seen these kinds of videos? So those are pretty successful as well. Testimonials. I'll show you another example of some things that we did. When I was director of marketing for DeVry, we did a video for them. And we had a graduation coming. So if you ever want to show excitement and really happy customers, this is a great way to do it. Maybe get them at the point of purchase when they're really thrilled about what they've just bought, and then share that with the world. So I'll give you a small taste of what that looked like.
I'm extremely happy. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time.
So I'm excited. I did it.
I feel fantastic.
I'm ready to take on the world.
Right, to get my life started.
I am looking to be a communications analyst.
I chose DeVry because it's a more hands-on university. I believe it'll make you more marketable.
I'm perceived as somebody that's prepared.
Tours, again, so if you've got a restaurant and you have some really nice features in the restaurant, or if it's a hotel or a bed and breakfast, or a golf club, or whatever it is, you can very simply kind of take a handy cam around and video tour the place and put that up. They're doing a lot of this in real estate now, or the house tours. Maybe you've seen some of these. They kind of walk you through the home that's for sale, and then the realtors are posting these online. Tips and secrets, and so I did a tips and secret thing really about what to look for if you're going to build a website. This is basically, again, this is really simple.
Hi, this is Professor Joe Hines from Cal State Fullerton. I'm also
So like
the
this
owner
basically
of
sat in the park and I talked for about 5 minutes about websites.
Is
you
your
know?
website still doing all it can to drive new business for you? A company without a website these days is like a business without a phone was 20 years ago.
So it doesn't, again, it doesn't have to be sophisticated or expensive. It's just the idea of getting it out there. Remember, this is social media, so people's expectations for what things should be or have to be are different. In fact, it's all more about being authentic than it is about being slick and polished. Okay, and authenticity is all about you be you, and let other people be other people, and show your personality. Let that shine forth, because that's the most important thing. It's going to be very polarizing. Some people are going to love you. Some people are not going to love you. But the ones who are going to love you are going to be your customers, no matter what you do, because they think you can solve their problems. The ones who aren't going to love you are never going to do business with you, no matter how hard you try, because there's other things in the way. So you might as well be natural and use that natural law of attraction to work in your favor instead of trying to be more than you are. Right? Small businesses like the ones that are represented in here tonight, we can't afford to do a Chevy kind of a budget commercial. But this is not that, and yet it works, right? And neither was the one that I showed you with Steve, in his restaurant either. I showed you how that one was done. Super simple, but really effective, And then the response thing that we've talked about.
Wait, no, what's the series?
Oh, sorry, let me go back to that. Yeah, so so a series could be, for instance, what I'm going to do with the Facebook Live thing that last month I did one, and our last meetup was about email marketing. And so that turns out to be like an hour-long video, but who is going to watch an hour-long video about email marketing, in the kinds of time constraints that we all have? So I divided it into 10 parts. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and you can link them all together. But the series is 1 follows on 2, follows on 3, follows on 4, so that it makes sort of sense, and then you can actually gain more viewership by linking them. And I'll show you how to link videos in a little while here. But that's a series.